What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. So, early morning again, Sunday morning before the London game. We got New England and Jacksonville here this morning. I mentioned it on yesterday's live stream if you guys tapped into that one. A little bit under the weather today, not feeling great. My wife, she works in the healthcare industry. She might have brought something home, and feels like I've been under the weather now for about 72 hours. So trying my best to fight this off. So if I have to, keep muting the mic to clear the throat, cough, whatever it may be, don't mind me. I'm all good to go. What we are here for this morning, though, is we're going to be answering those questions that you have for those start sits, for whatever you may got in fantasy football, waiver wires, trades, yada, yada, yada. Y'all know the deal. I see we got a lot of people in the building already. I am going to just start ripping through these questions, and let's get into what we got in the chat. Now, Josiah, first one in here, comes in with the Go Pack Go. Every day I appreciate the Go Pack Go. You got to appreciate the skull. That's where we're at right now. Trick says, let's go Texans. CE in the house, my guy. Nick Av, he says, standard scoring, I need a flex. Garrett Wilson, Tank, Stevenson, Aaron Jones, J-Mo. Look, I'm going to be going with Stevenson. We did get the news that he is active versus Jacksonville. The matchup is nice. In a standard scoring, you're looking for the touchdown. I think Stevenson has the best chance to score a touchdown this weekend against Jacksonville over there across the pond. So he would be my choice there. Josiah says Ayuk or Connor, PPR league. I'm going to go with James Conner. I don't trust Ayuk this week against that Kansas City matchup. Carl says, good morning and happy football Sunday. What are your thoughts? Full PPR, need to fill in my last flex spot. Pickens, Bucky Irving, or Sermon. I would be going with George Pickens here in this matchup. Hunter Henry or Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts. Carl says, appreciate you being here to help us despite being under the weather. Hey, that's what I'm here for. So don't even mention it. Zach over on X. Tyler Algier or Tyler Goodson or Zach Moss. So actually this is a great question because I was debating something like this in my league. My home league, I am without Chris Olave, and I needed to find somebody for my flex. So I was with Tyler Algier and Tyler Goodson as the two options. I am going to be going Tyler Algier. That is a full PBR league. I'm going Tyler Algier. I think he has the safer floor, similar ceiling as Tyler Goodson. So Algier is the play for me, and I'm actually doing this in my own league with you, so we can ride this play together. Raul says Tank Dell or Demario Douglas. I prefer Tank Dell, but Demario Douglas is going to be a good play this week no matter what. Najee or Chubb in the flex. I would rather go with Najee. It's Brendan. Says Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield this week. For me, it's going to be Jalen Hurts. I think he has a solid matchup, and I think he's the play in your fantasy league. Sherm, Whittington or Ladd, PPR, thanks. Without Cooper Kupp in the lineup, which it does seem like he is unlikely to be in the lineup this week, I think there's a chance that the right play is Jordan Whittington. I think Jordan Whittington might be the play here. Brendan says, also need an RB2 because of Jonathan Taylor's injury. Do you go Zach Sharp, Trey Sermon, and Antonio Gibson? We're going to be going Zach Sharp. Let me look at when these games are, because I know that we have the Kenneth Walker being questionable for this game, might not play in this one. Obviously, if he's not playing, you want to play Charbonnet because he's the starting running back, and the other two, really not as much. It looks like the Seahawks play their game this morning, so the first morning slate, so we will know obviously if Kenneth Walker does not play, we're going to be playing Zach Charbonnet. If he plays, I think you can probably audible to Gibson, but Zach Charbonnet, let's just hope Kenneth Walker doesn't play so you can play him. Where are we at here? Dylan says, what's up? Full PPR, different leagues, one wide receiver, tight end, Bateman, Waddle, Parkinson, or Parkinson, likely. I almost said Hawkinson and Parkinson in the same sentence. So one wide receiver and a tight end. So we're just going to pick those between Bateman and Waddle. I'd rather go Bateman, I guess. And then I'd rather go Likely over Parkinson. 1 QB, 1 wide receiver, and 2 flex. The QB, I would go Baker over A-Rich. 1 wide receiver, I am going to go with Shakir. And then 2 flex plays. Whittington and Goodson. And then for this last one, 2 running backs and 1 tight end. We're going to go with Jacobs and Dobbins. I'm assuming Walker will not play. But if he does, then I guess I go with Dobbins and Walker. And then for the tight end, we got Henry, Disley, Calcaterra. I would go Henry. Carl says, it might be the Lakers gear making you sick. I know I get nauseous when I see it. Hey, look, man. Basketball season is back in full swing. Not full swing yet, but we're back in swing. I'm a Lakers guy. Grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada. Obviously, growing up in Las Vegas, Nevada, we didn't have a basketball team, but we had all of the Los Angeles sports channels. So I was a Lakers fan growing up. Really only watched basketball growing up, but don't even ask. It's just I liked Adrian Peterson, and that's how I became a Minnesota fan. So I grew up with no sports fandom in my city, and I just had to pick, who I wanted to root for, and the Lakers were on TV the most, and they had the best player in the world, Kobe Bryant. So had to rock that one. Tank Dell, Amari Cooper, Demario Douglas start as a flex. I would go with Tank Dell here. I think he's the best player. Amari Cooper, I still don't know how big of a role he's going to have this week. Cap for Life says, good morning, beautiful people. Do I pick up Tucker, Leggett, or Corum for future bench use? I think right now the most immediate pickup that you could probably have is Leggett. If you can stash, maybe Corum for a couple weeks and see what happens with Kyron, but I think Leggett is kind of the same bet, plus still has some immediate value where you can flex him in certain matchups, so maybe he is the pick there. Brendan says, thanks, boss. No worries. Christian says, full PPR, Tank Bigsby or Connor, and Pop Douglas or Worthy. Good questions. I think for me, I'm going to go with... I think I'm going Bigsby over Connor, and then Douglas or Worthy. I'm going to go Douglas. Bigsby or Jordan Addison this week. I will go... That one's close too. I like Jordan Addison's matchup a lot. But I guess we'll go with Bigsby. He's just guaranteed a workload this week. Emily says, would you trade Evans for Jacobs, or would you hold Mike Evans? If you need running back help, that's a fair deal, but Evans has been good, so I think it just depends on what you need. But yeah. Should have picked Green Bay. Yeah, dude, I wasn't picking Green Bay. What the hell? Drew, you expect Odunze to see more investment in the offense post-bye? Hopefully should. Look, I think it's no matter what with Odunze, when you're looking at, dynasty value long-term and things like that, this is a guy who most likely is not going to see the most of his return on investment until year 2. I think with Keenan Allen on the roster at the moment, it just makes it a little bit too messy. Obviously, we want to see these offenses. It's nice when teams have a lot of weapons, obviously, for like the quarterback development, like Caleb Williams. But from a standpoint of trying to pick who is going to score fantasy points, you need to have it consolidated a little bit. Right now, Roshan's getting a little bit of run. DeAndre Swift's getting run. DJ Moore's getting passes. All of these other guys are getting passes as well. I think when Keenan Allen this season, I don't expect him to sign a long-term extension in Chicago. If he does, that is going to really be a damper on Odunze's future outlook. But if he doesn't sign an extension, I think we see the most out of Odunze next year. But hopefully he's a little bit more involved here post-bye. Ralph says, thanks for the help. You are saving my team. Well, hopefully, we haven't seen the games play yet, but, I just want to give you my best opinion, my best researched opinion I can possibly give you and help you win. Angel says, go Lakers. Tank Bigsby or Jordan Mason, full PPR. I'm going to go with Jordan Mason, and yes, go Lakers, baby. RSG says, Lawrence versus the Pats or Murray versus the Chargers. What do my rankings say? Because I want to say I have these guys very close. I have Murray right now as my QB 16 on the week. I have Trevor as my QB 20. So I guess let's just go with Kyler Murray. Who should I start, Drake May or Brock Purdy? I like Brock Purdy. Man, you ever drink something carbonated in the morning? I got that energy drink, and it's like that first one that hits, that thing is sharp. It makes your eyes water. That thing hits you like a bag of bricks. That's what that just did to me. I know you saw me grip my chest like that thing burned going down. What do we got? Where are we? Emily. Emil, maybe. Maybe I'm saying Emily. But what running backs would you target in a trade for Mike Evans? What running backs would I target? I think right now, I mean, if you can go get, like, let me just pull up a list of running backs right now, and I'll tell you who I would possibly try and get. If you can buy an injury dip on Kenneth Walker, like, I'd be okay doing that. If you can maybe go buy a guy like Joe Mixon, I like Joe Mixon. You had Josh Jacobs in there. I like Josh Jacobs. People are still down on Breece Hall. I'd try and go target Breece. But that's kind of the tier that I'm looking at. Maybe you can get a guy like David Montgomery plus a wide receiver coming back your way. Those would be kind of guys that I'm looking at. Bigsby or Kareem Hunt? This is going to be the Bigsby show here today, folks. It seems like we're getting a lot of Bigsby questions. Just to give you reference as to where Bigsby is in my rankings, I have Bigsby as my running back 22 on the week. So when it comes to Kareem Hunt versus Bigsby, I would rather go Kareem Hunt and just rock with that. Drake May, Sam Darnold, or Jared Goff? We're going to go Jared Goff. Should I go Bigsby over T. Higgins full PPR? No, I would rather go with T. Higgins. Stevenson is in, ETN is out. Yes, sir. Good morning or good Sunday football morning in full PPR. Should I lock in Debo or HN? I would go with Debo. Chase, half PPR, start Amari or Pop Douglas in the flex. I would rather go with Pop Douglas. We do not know what Amari's role is going to look like here this week. Hunter, full PPR, need to bench one out of Stevenson versus Jacksonville, Najee versus New York, or Eckler versus Carolina. I would be benching Eckler versus Carolina because there's a chance still that B-Rob plays. Now, if B-Rob doesn't play, we can make that change later. But I think right now you got to go with Stevenson in the morning and then Najee versus the Jets. Now, I will say with Najee, he's my RB25. Right now, I do have, where is he at? Eckler as my RB26. So if there is no Brian Robinson this morning, you can flip him later for Najee. So just go with Stevenson now, and then you'll play one of the other guys. Hopefully that made sense. Sam Darnold or A-Rich, 4-point passing. I'm going to go with Darnold. Do I play Tank Bigsby over Christian Watson or Waddle in PPR? Yes, I would play him over both of those guys. Start sit Jordan Love or Joe Burrow? That's a good one. I think this one I would go with Jordan Love. I like the matchup with Jordan Love this week more. Chase Brown or Tank Bigsby? T-Law or Darnold? Tank Bigsby over Chase Brown for me, and then I would go Darnold over T-Law. Bigsby or Mooney? I'm going to go with Bigsby there in a half point for sure. So, yeah, this definitely is the Tank Bigsby show, folks. Last night was the Wan'Dale Robinson show. That is the first couple questions that came in and came through. So if you guys still have questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. We're going to be going all the way up till game time, so we still have about 45 minutes or so until we get there. But keep throwing them in the chat. We'll answer these questions as they come in. I'm going to check and make sure we don't got any news so far this morning that I haven't mentioned on the stream so far. One of them, right now, just a couple of the Roto World pieces of news that I get. We do have Cooper Kupp unlikely to play today, so there is likely no Cooper Kupp here today. There is likely, there is no Travis Etienne. Ramondre is in. Hassan Reddick, he's going to finish his holdout. He is reporting back to the Jets tomorrow. Levis, he's out. It's Mason Rudolph. And that's really much all we know right now. Hawkinson was downgraded to out as well, so no TJ Hawkinson today. Aaron Jones is expected to play. So that's where we're at, folks. Where do we have this? Anthony. Anthony says, I drafted Neighbors, Ladd, May, Polk. Did I win the rookie draft? I mean, anybody who drafted Neighbors did a damn good job, I guess, but it's tough to tell, man. I mean, winning the rookie draft is fine and all, but it's tough to tell when, I don't know what everybody else did. Luke, would you trade King Henry for a running back with a better playoff schedule like Brees? Redraft full PPR. I think you could. I don't mind doing that, actually, but if you can trade Henry for Brees right now, you probably can get a piece thrown in as well. So, yeah, I would probably consider doing that. I did want to go back, actually, Anthony. One video that we just released on the channel yesterday, which I think would be fun to go watch for you. We redid our rookie drafts as if they happened today. So we did that on the channel last night. I would say go watch that. You'll see where those guys go. May went high still. Ladd was still a first-round guy. Neighbors went high. Polk, I think he slipped in our draft just because we don't really love what we've seen so far. But, yeah, I'd say go watch that one. That one was a fun one to do. Richardson or Lawrence? I think I'm going to go Lawrence there. Chase says Bucky Irving or Tyrone Tracy. I'm going to go with Bucky Irving. Jordan Love or Kyler rest of the season. I'd rather have Jordan Love. And he said that was half PPR. Still same thing for me. Josh Downs, Waddle, or Christian Watson in PPR. I would go with... I think I'm going to go with Christian Watson. With Kupp out, going with Wandell or throw Whittington/Juju in. I think Wandell's the safest play of all of them. Return of the Chubb is what Trick said. Yes, we do get Nick Chubb back today. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get. We'll see how many carries he gets, but it is the return of the Chubb. It should be a pretty fun one in that one. Anthony says, thank you, we'll watch, no worries. Brian Bell said, would you start May or Goff in Superflex? I would probably rather go with Goff here this week in the Superflex. Monty or Achan in PPR, I'd be going with Monty, and that's not necessarily close for me here this week. So there we go. Back caught up. We got a Mecca that says Bigsby or James Cook. I would be going with James Cook. Bigsby or Walker. All right, we're going to ban this motherfucker in the chat that's spamming that shit. Yeah, we ain't doing that. Bigsby or Walker. 6:30 slate versus 10. My bench, BTJ or Worthy. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is tough. I think because we don't know, the safe thing to do is just play Bigsby. So I'm going to play Bigsby and live with the results. If Walker plays, Walker plays. But I don't want to get caught out in the cold and have to start Worthy, because I think there's a significant drop between Worthy and Bigsby in what we can project as floor this week. So I would just rather throw Bigsby out there this week. Not sure what this is about, but it happened. Trick says W ban. Love it. Yeah, man. I mean, look, they were in here pumping some shit all game, whatever, pumping some shit, spamming. Yeah, we banning that. Get that out of here. Ronan, Leggett, Tracy, or Waddle in the flex. I think Tracy's the move. Tracy would be my play there. Josiah says a lot of Bigsby questions today. Yeah, I mean, look, there are a lot of Bigsby questions. So let's just do this, folks. I'll tell you just right now, I'm happy to keep answering these questions, but I'm going to just go through and tell you at the moment. These are half PPR rankings, but right now, when we're talking about like Bigsby versus somebody, I would play, where are we at? I got to scroll and find him. I would play Aaron Jones over Bigsby, James Conner over Bigsby, Kareem Hunt over Bigsby, David Montgomery over Bigsby, James Cook over Bigsby, Jordan Mason over Bigsby, B-Rob, Gibbs, Pollard, Jacobs, Hall, Dobbins, Mixon, Kamara, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, Saquon Barkley, Kyron Williams, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry. All of those guys would go over Tank Bigsby. Now, when it comes to Tank Bigsby versus somebody, I would probably go Bigsby over Achane, Bigsby over Chase Brown, Bigsby over Najee Harris, Bigsby over Austin Eckler, Bigsby over Bucky Irving, Bigsby over Alexander Madison. Like, this is kind of where I'm viewing him. So I'm viewing him as a low-end to mid-tier RB2 here this week in your 12-man leagues. Is Amari playing this week? I have not heard him out, so I do assume he is playing, but I do not assume that he will be on a full snap count. Trick says it's crazy the impact of injuries this season. Yeah, dude, we've had a ton of injuries. It felt like they just came very quickly into the season, and we've been playing with injuries since week 1. Like, it's just been a lot of injuries since week 1. Kupp is not expected to play. Josh Downs or Jordan Whittington. I do not like the idea of Josh Downs this week with Anthony Richardson. I want to see what Downs does with Richardson back in the lineup, so I would play Whittington here. T. Higgins or Devonta Smith, full PPR. I'm going to go with T. Higgins here, man. I'm going to go with T. Higgins. I have him as a start of the week. I like the matchup. Jesus says Chase Brown or Achane, half PPR. I'm going to go with Achane, just by a little bit. All right, another one here. Kyler or Stroud rest of season. Let me look at strength of schedule. Strength of schedule at the quarterback position. Because they're close. They're close talents, but I think I would rather go with... Yeah, I think we're going to go with CJ Stroud, man. His strength of schedule is better than Kyler's. Now, the playoff schedule is worse for Stroud, but I think rest of season, you got to go with him. Whittington or Algier? I would rather go with Whittington there. Colts is a special team where the starting QB hurts the wide receiver's output. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough at the moment. Jesus says, thank you. No worries. LBJ, Downs or Whittington. We're going to go with Whittington in that situation. Atwell, Cooper, Kirk, Pittman, Palmer at flex. So we're going to pick one of these guys. If I have to pick one of them, I think I'd rather just go with Cooper, even though we don't know how much he's going to play. The other options aren't great. Kyler, Cousins, or May. Give me Kyler this week. Do you feel any different about Calvin Ridley with Mason Rudolph at QB, Ridley or Whittington? Yeah, I feel a little bit different. It should be hopefully a little bit better when it comes to Ridley or Whittington. Unfortunately for folks who drafted Calvin Ridley, I still feel like they're somewhat of the same. For me in my rankings this week, I have Ridley a little bit higher, but I still have Ridley as my, where is he at? I have him as my wide receiver 49 this week. So not a great matchup for him against Buffalo, but I still would play Ridley over Whittington this week. LBJ says Jordan Mason or Jameson Williams, half PPR. I think I'll go with Jordan Mason and hope he gets into the end zone. The Last Gremlin says, I'm so sorry about the Bigsby questions. Don't apologize, dude. He says, but I'm starting Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs. Should I switch one out for Tank Bigsby or switch out Garrett Wilson for Tank Bigsby since Devontae Adams is back with A-Rod? I would not swap Kareem Hunt or Josh Jacobs for Bigsby. I think you could potentially, let me double check these. When it comes to Garrett Wilson, he's an interesting case. And did you say that was half PPR? I can't remember what you said, but for me, where I have Wilson in my rankings this week is a little bit lower than we've had him before. I still have him as my wide receiver 22. I think you can go with Garrett still, just barely. But if you want a higher floor, maybe it's Tank Bigsby. He would be the only one I would consider. I would not consider Kareem Hunt or Josh Jacobs, though. BTJ or Ayuk PPR. I would rather play BTJ. I do not want to play Ayuk this week if I don't have to. Achane or Bigsby. I would rather go with Achane. They're back-to-back in my rankings. I think I'd rather go with Achane, but Chubb or Kirk, half PPR. I would go with Kirk. Who for my wide receiver 2 in flex? Wan'Dale Robinson, Alexander Madison, Allen Lazard, Josh Downs, Tyler Goodson, Leggett, Jacoby Myers, Christian Watson, Jordan Whittington, and Rashad Bateman. Damn, that's a long list of players. Wide receiver 2 in flex. I think the first two guys you listed are probably the two that I would play. Wan'Dale and Madison. You could play Jordan Whittington, but Wan'Dale and Madison feel like the two players to me. Waddle and a 26 late second for Brian Thomas. Give me Brian Thomas. Opponent has McBride and MHJ. Should I start Kyler or Baker? I don't really buy too much into the playing my opponent's QB, but in my rankings this week, I have Baker Mayfield over Kyler Murray, so I probably would still just play Baker Mayfield. In my Superflex League, I played Javonte on Thursday. Is it safer to play Tracy at RB2 along with Chuba in the Superflex or Huntley in the Super? Basically, the question is Tracy or Huntley. It's tough, man. I don't really think Huntley's going to do too much, but can he do enough to have a safer floor? I think if you're looking for the safer floor, Tracy probably has the safer floor. That's gross, though. That's a gross one. J-Boy J, I feel your pain. I saw you in the other live. Should I pick up ETN off of waivers? I already have Kyron Williams, Breece Hall, and Kenneth Walker. Yeah, I mean, if you can afford the drop, then yeah, I'd still pick ETN up off of waivers. Full PPR, not sure what that one was for. Oh, I guess that was for the one way up about Bigsby and Jacobs and those guys. Bigsby or BTJ, I would rather play Bigsby. What are your Pearsall predictions? We are hoping he is a league winner. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do that for you this year, unfortunately. I like Pearsall, but he's a guy that I think was drafted to potentially be a replacement for one of these wide receivers long term, whether it be Ayuk or whether it be Debo. That's probably the idea. Juwan Jennings has flashed coming in midseason. It's tough. Pearsall, he's a guy that I don't expect him to do anything in 2024, really. It's just, I love him. I think he's going to be a good player in the long run, but this year, this is a wash for me. I don't think he's going to do much this year. Should I start Brian Thomas, Debo, Deontay Johnson, or Brian Robinson today as my flex? I would be trying to start B-Rob or Deontay as the flex in those PPR leagues, one of those two. So I would just wait on those two for that game, and if B-Rob is healthy, he's the guy that I play. If he's not, you can audible to Deontay. MHJ or Mooney, full PPR. It's crazy how we've gotten here with Marvin Harrison Jr. For me, in a full PPR, when I'm looking at these two, I guess we're going Mooney. It's not great, but I think I'm going Mooney. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Would you play 2 Jags or start Ayuk over Bigsby BTJ in full PPR? I honestly would probably rather play the 2 Jags. Now, excuse me. Now that I've said that, though, look, I've been the Brandon Ayuk apologist all year long. I've been on the BDG channel, apologizing for Brandon Ayuk. I've been on there hyping him up. Now that I am officially saying I don't want to play him, I think this is going to be the time that he goes off. But the matchup tells me I shouldn't play him. My heart tells me I shouldn't play him. My mind tells me I shouldn't play him. I'm just not playing Brandon Ayuk. But I know that the way that fantasy football works is it's going to be one of those ones where everything tells me no, and I do it. I listen to it. I bench him, and then he goes off and has 25. It's going to – watch. This is what's going to happen, man. This is fantasy football. Should I pick up ETN off of waivers? I still got Kyron. I think we already answered that one. He says, I just traded Josh Jacobs and Tank Dell for Justin Jefferson. Fair trade? Yeah, fair trade. I think you'd rather have Justin Jefferson. Start Sharp, Whittington, or Ayuk in the flex. I'm starting Sharp, especially if Kenneth Walker is out. If he's not out, I guess you play Ayuk. Hey, Andrew, full PPR, Mason or Montgomery? I would rather go with David Montgomery than Jordan Mason this week. Would you pick up Tyler Goodson for a backup? I don't think Tyler Goodson's going to have more than like 1 or 2 more weeks of relevancy, so I'm not really wasting the space on him if I don't need immediate help here this week. If you need immediate help this week, I think he's a fine, flex running back that you can plug in, but I don't think he's a long-term pickup by any means. I'd rather stash somebody who has better value long-term. All right, folks, we got about 20-ish minutes until we'll be done here when the game is about to start. I got to make sure that I got my lineups ready and set. That way I don't get caught, with my pants down here. Let me make sure. Good there. And I see the questions coming in. I'm going to answer these questions as soon as we do this. Excuse me. We should be good. Just running through and quickly scanning. And last but not least, yeah, I think we're all good, man. Checking for news. Deontay Johnson is expected to play today, and Brian Robinson is expected to play today. You love to see that. So that's good news for us here this morning. Brandon, this is where we're at. Do you think Chubb or Kupp plays is startable this week? Well, Kupp is unlikely to play. Chubb is expected to play, but I think he's on a snap count. Are either of them startable? Probably not. I think there's a lot better choices than Nick Chubb, and like I said, Kupp is not expected to play. Gremlin says, I switched out Garrett Wilson for Tank Bigsby because the infamous TJ Watt, that old man Mr. Rogers, has to deal with. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Need some advice before the 9:30 game. In a full PPR, I need to start 2 of Kareem Hunt, Ramondre, and Brian Thomas. I would start Kareem Hunt and Ramondre. Those would be the 2 that I play. Thank you for answering our questions. No worries, Ronan. I appreciate you guys being here asking the questions. Full PPR, pick 1, JMO, Ramondre, Jordan Mason, or Juju. I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Ramondre. May in London rain against trash Jacksonville, or Kyler in primetime against the Chargers D without Bosa and their top CBs, even though Harbaugh will likely run the clock a lot of the game. Yeah, I mean, in my rankings currently this week, I like Drake May. I think people saw Drake May last week and we're getting a little bit over our skis. I still have Kyler Murray over May in my rankings this week. People are just a little bit too excited about Drake May. I love what I saw, but come on, let's relax now. We're asking, not this question specifically, but like we're asking about Drake May as if he's a QB1 this week. I don't know if that's the answer. Amari Cooper or D-Hop at the flex. I'd rather go with Amari Cooper. Pick 2 to start, Tyreek, Tank, Wandell, BTJ. I would go with BTJ and Tank Bigsby there. Luca, 6-man league, full PPR. Do I start Pollard, Deontay, Chuba, Garrett, Devontae, Zay Flowers? Pick 2. I think it's Pollard and Chuba for me. Those would be the 2 that I play. Alex says Bigsby or Chase Brown. Give me Bigsby. And Brandon says thank you. No worries. So there we are there. Let's see, man. We still got more time, man. Keep those questions coming in, guys. Keep them flowing. Do we certainly have rain there? Is that what the forecast is in London? I'm not seeing that. Gremlin says, no, seriously, Ronan's right. Thank you for answering all these questions for us. This helps us ease into today. Yeah, man, I really do appreciate you guys. Like, I really do mean it. Thank you for being here. I'll always answer the questions that you guys got. You know what? That leads me to a subtle plug, so bear with me. But I do have a free Discord. So there is a Discord linked in the description. It's free to join. If you guys ever have other questions when I'm not live that you want to ask me, that's the best place to do so. There's like 250 plus people in that Discord right now, just like this chat, that want to talk fantasy football, want to help you with your teams. And like I said, it's the best place to ask me questions when I'm not live on a live stream. So if you want to go join that Discord, go join that Discord, linked in the description. Like I said, free to join, no risk in doing that. Chef, this isn't start sit, but would you do Neighbors for Metcalf and Pollard and Bucky Irving in the playoff hunt and have CMC on IR? My RB2 is my only weak point with CMC injured. So would you trade Neighbors for Metcalf and Pollard and Bucky Irving? Man, Neighbors is so damn good. But if you need RB2 help, getting Pollard and Bucky Irving is huge, because I think Pollard could have one of the better schedules down the stretch. So I would strongly be considering this move. God damn it, we about to have to ban this motherfucker again, bro. It's crazy. Anthony, Evan Engram a start? Question. I think yes, you can start him. PPR, Tank Dell, Wandell, or Jamison Williams. Pick 1. Give me JMO. Half PPR, pick 2. Watson, Waddle, JSN, Worthy. I'm going to go with JSN and Watson. Morning, Andrew. How you feeling about Jordan Mason today? Think he'll get the work, or should I play Tucker Craft in the tight end premium PPR? Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how much the tight end premium is. Like, if we're talking about a 1 extra point for tight end premium, I probably go with Kraft. But if it's only a half point or something smaller, I'm okay playing Jordan Mason. I'm playing Jordan Mason in one of my leagues. I think he's going to be fine. The matchup is tough. I'm not so much as worried about how much work he gets. I'm just more worried about the matchup. The matchup's very tough for him. But I think you can still play him as like a low-end RB2. Gremlin says 100% rain and 65 degrees in London. Tough, man. That's good things for, I guess, Bigsby and Ramondre. They'll probably run the ball a little bit more. Ronan says Huntley or Russ in the Superflex. I'm going with Russell Wilson. That's not a question to me. I'd rather play Russell Wilson. Favorite game day food? Man, there's a bunch of different ones, I think, really, but common ones is I like to go get chicken wings. Chicken wings are like my thing when it comes to sporting events. Whenever I'm watching UFC fights, whenever I'm watching football games, whenever I'm watching whatever major basketball games, I'm eating some chicken wings. So I like lemon pepper. That's what I do. Other than that, like, you can't go wrong with like a pizza, man. A pizza's always hit the spot too. So we got a pizza spot across the street. It's like a local mom and pop pizza shop. They be hooking it up. So that's always a move for sure. Not good at fantasy says, if Kenneth Walker misses, would you start Sharp over Kareem Hunt or Achane? I would start him over Achane. I'd debate Kareem Hunt and Sharp, but I think I definitely would start him over Achane. With Cup out, do I start Mason, Downs, Marvin, or Chase Brown? I would rather start Jordan Mason. Jesse says start 2 flex. Start 2 flex 1. London, Dell, Smith, MHJ, Juju. I'm going to go London, Devonta Smith, and Tank Dell. Those are going to be the ones that I play. Eric says 2 wide receivers in a flex. Harrison, JSN, Dell, Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre, I'm going to go Ramondre, Dell, and Harrison Jr. Drewby says, I think I'm going to stick with Mason, starting Fitzmagic against one of my good friends in a Dynasty matchup because I got no startable QBs with the bots. Jesus. I was like, I saw you say starting Fitzmagic, and I was like, where the hell is this going? Damn, that's crazy. Chef, Eckler or Antonio Gibson in PPR, wondering if may really be the dump off to Gibson. I would go with Eckler. I like the matchup for Eckler more. Bet the under on the London game, especially now with the rain. The under was probably pretty low in the first place, wasn't it? Let's check that out. We already had that one as come on. Yeah, the under, it's a 42.5. That's kind of crazy. I would definitely go under. And I'd be willing to throw a little anytime touchdown scorer with, like, I kind of like Ramondre as the anytime touchdown scorer, but you could also go Tank Bigsby. You could go both of them. What if you go first touchdown scorer? It's not bad. Yeah, you could do that. The under on that game is definitely probably worthwhile. Chef says, appreciate the advice, no worries. And Marcus says, yeah, 42.5. That's what I'm seeing right now on DraftKings. So if you go under 42, I'm going to go Jags to cover this. I'm gonna put something together. I'm going to chef something up. Drew B says, Tank Dell or BTJ in half PPR. Can't decide and wondering if the forecast should affect it that much. I would probably go with Tank Dell in that one, just knowing that we have 100% rain. Yeah, I think I would put one. I have one right here. I have under 42.5. Tank Bigsby anytime touchdown. Jags money line. That's what I got. But I think, look, we have a few more minutes. We have 5 to 10 more. I'll do 5 to 10 more minutes if you guys still have questions. So throw those questions in if you still got them. We'll try and get them answered. Jesse says, thanks for helping. No worries, Jesse. Do I start Love or Baker and Bowers or Kittle? I would start Love and Kittle. Gremlin says, I am versus the number 1 player in my league, and I'm number 6. He has Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Mike Evans, Jamar Chase, Evan Engram, Tyreek Hill, Younghoe Koo, and the Jets defense. It's a tough matchup, but Mike Evans might not play, is what I'm seeing. Jets or Bengals defensive special team? I would probably go with... It's tough. I think I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I just trust Deshaun Watson to look like shit. Vatican, full PPR, BTJ or Wandell. I think I'd still play BTJ. Andre says 12-man PPR, flex Waddle, Ray McLeod, high-scoring game versus Seattle, or Tutu. I think I'm probably going to go Tutu with Cooper Kupp being out. Kirk or Whittington today. I would rather go Jordan Whittington. Drew also says, appreciate it, brother. This Lions-Vikings game going to be a movie. It better be. It better be, man. I'm very excited for it. So, should be fun. Debo, Bigsby, or Stevenson in the flex, full PPR. I like Stevenson. Mondre or BTJ. The BTJ Gonzalez matchup worries me. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I think Mondre is probably the play. Pick 2, Jacobs, Hubbard, Hunt, Bigsby. I'm going to go with Hubbard and Jacobs. Vatican says, damn, just skip my question. Did we skip your question? I thought we answered it. Did we not? BTJ or Wandell? I thought we really answered that one. But it's BTJ. I swear to God I didn't skip your question, Vatican. I think you might have just missed it. Chat, did we skip his question or did we answer that one before? Watson is washed. Damn straight. Gibbs, Walker, Kyron, or Bigsby can only start 3. Gibbs, Walker, Kyron, Bigsby can only start 3. I mean, with Walker being questionable, I think you got to start Bigsby this week, and then you just play Kyron and Gibbs. So that's what I would be doing. Let's go Vikings. Hell yeah. Vatican says, my bad, thought you overlooked it. No worries. Bigsby or Jordan Whittington in my flex. I would go Bigsby over Whittington. And there you are. So, all right, folks, 5-minute countdown. 5-minute countdown. We're going to end the stream. We're at about 52. We usually go about an hour, but we got a little bit of time until I want to give myself a couple minutes to place this in before the bet or before the game starts. Looks like the over on this game is getting smashed. I mean, the under on this game is getting smashed at the moment. Matheson says, is it raining right now in the London game or is it later? It sounds like right now it is raining. I mean, I'm going to, let's see. Weather near... It looks like it's going to be raining at some point during this game. So it might be later. I don't know if it's right now. I mean, it might. I think it is raining actually right now. Yeah, it is raining. Heavy Metal says pick 2, full PPR, Wandell, Pop, Kirk, Pickens. 2 and a full PPR. I'm going to go Pop and Wandell. W Stream. We got W Stream, W Vibes. And Anthony says, are you from Minnesota? I am not from Minnesota. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. Lived there before the Raiders got there, so I picked my fandom before the Raiders were the home team. And I stayed loyal. I didn't switch once Las Vegas went there. Also, what have the Raiders ever done to make me want to switch my fandom? Probably not shit. But yeah, I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I currently live in New Jersey, just outside of New York City. So, no, not from Minnesota, but Minnesota Vikings fan. So, all right, folks, I think that's it, man. I think we're going to call it right there. We don't have a ton of questions coming in left, so that is going to be today's stream. CD Smitty, you might be the last one here. You snuck in. He says, flex 2, sit 1 with Tyreek, Connor, and Ingram. I think we're going to sit Tyreek Hill, man. I think we're going to sit Tyreek Hill, unfortunately. But there you have it. If you did enjoy today's stream, folks, I see at one point we had like 80-something people in here. God damn it. We're going to keep banning this motherfucker as long as they're in the chat, man. But if you enjoyed the stream, I saw we had like 80-something people in here at one point. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to do all of that good stuff, man. Subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. What do we got here? A couple more. You a fake Vikings fan? You got Vikings winning today or the Lions? Of course I'm rooting for the Vikings, and of course I think that they can win this week. Big Man, Juju, or Bigsby. I'm going to go Bigsby. And then Gremlin. Bro, I need TJ Hawkinson to come back. Picked him up as a sleeper coming back. But Jake Ferguson and Mr. 240 mil isn't doing anything for the Cowboys. Yeah, I needed him to come back this week, too. I'm starting Zach Ertz, so he'll be back next week, it sounds like. That's it, though, folks. I have nothing else for you today, so good luck in your matchups. As always, if you have any additional questions later in the day, before the morning slate and before the afternoon slate or all the other stuff, go to my Discord. My Discord is free to join, linked in the description. You can ask me any questions you got in there, and like I said, it's free to join, so there is no risk in doing that. But with that being said, I will see you on the next one. I was going to say, like I said, I have nothing else today. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, peace out.